This is the Gemara for Wednesday Mishnah. What happened? You said I'm selling you a base card. I'm selling you a property base card, but I added the words b'simanov uv'mitzarav with these signs and then within these boundaries. Now, a base card itself is 30 sa. And if you don't spell out midah b'chevel, we say it's like more or less. You allow a tolerance of 4%. But then I added, sorry? But then I added b'simanov uv'mitzarav. I said, with these and within these boundaries. Now, what I gain by adding within these boundaries? You're standing there. It's as if you're saying, I accept whatever is there. Because I said normally it's 4% tolerance, but in this case, because just selling your base cool is already more or less 4%, and then I add b'simanov mitzarav. What you see right in front of you is pachas mishtus. Up to a sixth. I mean, I cheat you 16.5% is still a deal. Still a deal because you accepted it. Because you stood right here, you accepted it. It's nothing to do with Aina because Aina ain't another kakais. There's no Aina about kakais. Of course, everybody thinks from 50%. This is more to do with what are you meichel? If I said b'mitzarav and you look at the property and you're happy with the size of the property, you're meichel even though on paper it's not what you said it is. But up to a sixth. We're gonna have a machlekes in the Gemara. What about a sixth itself? Higiu. Less than a sixth higiu, the deal is a deal. Adshtus, but if it's others gear says yoisimishtus, if it's more than a six, or adshtus going from higher than a six down to a six, yenaka, then what happens is not the deal falls away, as the Rashbam later explained, we both want the deal to happen, but you have to give back I paid you for a 30 saw, and you gave me more than a six less than that. You gave me like 22 saw. Says the Gemara, we have an issue like Ravuna says shtus. What about a shtus itself? It says ad shtus going down. Ad the ad bechlal or ad v'loy ad bechlal. So Ravuna says shtus kepach shtus is ad v'loy bechlal. But if exactly a six, it's like less than six and the deal goes ahead. And Rabbi Yehuda says shtus ki yaisim shtus. Shtus is like more than a six. The deal still goes ahead, but you got to get back to home on that. Ravuna mishtus hayil in the Mishnah. Ravuna says shtus kepach mishtus. Shtus is like less than a shtus. But your meichel hachikam. This is what Mishnah says. Pach is mishtus and shtus bechlal. He gave the deal, the deal. Then the Mishnah said, in fact, his girsa is teaching me here that the girsa was yaisim shtus. But if it's more than a shtus, only then you have to refund me, reimburse me the extra money I paid. All of it already. And Rabbi Yehuda says, no, this is how you read the Mishnah. Shtus is ki yaisim shtus. A sixth is like more, nobody's meichel that. It's too much. And hachikam, this is what the Mishnah says. Pachas mishtus igiyah. Dafke pachas mishtus. The deal remains in your meichel. Ad shtus. V'shtus b'chlal, till the shtus, including the shtus, then you got to give back the money. You got to give back the money. Here we don't say the deal falls apart, it dissolves, because we both want the deal to go ahead. I want to buy, you want to sell. So it makes us a question from a Bryce. It says there, we had a Gemara in Ksubis about if Bezdin decides to assess a property for almana, for children, and they made a mistake in assessment. So if it's exactly a shtus, Koda Hachamim, the whole deal falls apart. The Bezdin made a mistake. You got to do it again. Corner of Shimon Gamliel, he said the famous words, "Im kain ma koyach Bezdin yofa." What's the value of Bezdin? Bezdin has to be stronger. Everybody is shtus. We say that the deal still remains. You got to give back the money. A Bezdin should be more powerful than a private individual. So if a Bezdin makes a mistake of a six, the deal goes ahead. Okay, so now the Braisa says, "Simon of a mitzvah." If somebody says, "I'm selling you 30 so," and these are the boundaries. Piche shtus or heise shtus. So Raisa clearly talks about exactly a sixth. He says harehu kishem dayanim has the same din if a dayanim says something. And now, according to Hachamim, a shtus dayanim says it. People mekach, the deal falls apart. According to Shimon Gamliel, everything remains because im came makoyer bezin yof. So the Braisa says here it's like a shemel dayanim, and then it says higiu. Now, what the word higiu means, we'll soon see. And the now, according to the Chachamim, so they say the deal dissolves. It's not a kasha on Ravuna. Ravuna said that a shtus itself is like pachas mishtus and yemeichel. And it says clearly here that no, a shtus is exactly if Rabbana make a mistake, and the Chacham said the deal dissolves. Almost Ravuna would have said, "Time mechigiu." Tell me how you're going to pshat higiu. Give me the deal remains. If I can't. So wait, there was Bamla and a few other Rishonim, others know differently. That he's saying, why say Giyah? Because this is Abshim Gamliel. We're not following Chamir. Faket, this is Abshim Gamliel. What's Abshim Gamliel paskin by Dayani if they make a mistake of a sixth? The deal remains. So it's an eye to me, not a kasha. In fact, it's a kasha Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda says the deal dissolves. When we Giyah, Giyah means that it stays. Says the Gemara. So the basis, because the words according to Rashbam, it should say Omar Rabbi Yehuda. Now the kashas we turn to Rabbi Yehuda, from Rabbi Yehuda. So he'll tell you, I'll show him the Yoni. This is how you're right. I'll tell you what a Giyah means over here. We're following the Chachamim. What do Chachamim say? By Dayanim, the whole deal dissolves. What am I saying over here by Shtus? The deal remains, but you got to give the money back. So that's what a Giyah means. A Giyah means that the Shtus is like Yosim Shtus, and it's a problem. But different than by Dayanim, where it's a bittul mekach, the whole deal dissolves. Over here, I want you to know, this is Higiyu. The deal still remains. The sale is still a sale. It's only a question of giving the money back. The deal still remains, just gotta give the money back. I said, Papa was bought land from a person on my lay. The person said, have the essing gravir. I'm selling you a measure of 20 gravir. That's the measure I'm selling you. Okay. We're going. He measured it. So it means only 15 of this gravir, not 20. Also coming to buy. He went, now this is more than a sixth, because a sixth of 20 would be, would be 3 and a bit. So, but here to be is 5, so, or 5 gravir. So therefore it's, and what does that Mishnah say? If it's more than a shtus, the whole thing falls apart. But we got to give the money back. Doesn't fall apart, get the money back. And the guy refused to give the money back. Also coming by, went to Abaya. So he went to Rebbe Abaya. On Malay, Savrad Kibilut. Tough. Abaya was very tough with him. He said, you accepted it. So he said, what do you mean I accepted it? But now it says in the Mishnah, Pachas Mishtos, he gil. Ad Shtos, Yinak. It says clearly if it's more than a 6, got to give my money back. Okay, I accepted it, but he has to give my money back. So Abai says, Hani Mili, when is the Mishnah talking about? Hey, you're not standing inside the field, you're standing somewhere else, and he tells you, these are the Simonov, these are Mitzarov. So you assume up to a 6th I'm prepared, for distance it looks big enough. You're standing inside the field, and he tells you this is 20, and it turns out to be 15. You accepted it. Some of the couple, especially a papa, he was a businessman. He was not a mufshid hazi. He did very well. So he timed it. But he told me it was 20. He's a liar. So Bai said to him, you were there, so you had a rough idea what the size of the field is. He said 20. He meant the value of this 15 saw field is equal to Stam. My field is the best in the world. And I'm sure you met this kind of vendors. And this and everybody else, you had to sell you 20 to get 15 exactly. Tanya, we learned, we're digressing here because we're going to get to this next situation which is similar to this. Tanya learned. Rabbi Yasi said, if 2 brothers have a Yerusha and they get divided to dissolve the Yerusha, so each one gets a chelik. As soon as they make a goydel, one guy wins the goydel, let's say the right side. They made a goydel who gets the right side. And one guy picks up and he won the right, let's say the fields on the east. Then the guy on the west automatically is kain as well. Doesn't have to make a kinyan on his property. My time of why? We live from Yisrael. Just like by goydel, which is in Pinchas. Just like over there, it's all done through a goydel. Is avkan begoydel. It was not just a goydel. You also had the that screamed out. This shevet gets his chelik. I will learn more in the next page all about it. So the it was all. You need 2 things. Afkan the kalbi tumim. Ravashi bahi ano. That hano, the kotsaisi lahadodi. That ano, they both agreed to this goydel. Is gomer makadodi, just like it tumim. Over there, the Eden had no daya. So therefore, you needed side the goydel and side the tumim. Over here, we both entered this goydel between the 2. We both agreed to go to the goydel, and that hano, that we both agreed to go to the goydel, is each one as if received something, like you paid me something. And therefore, the kinyan is a kinyan. Big machlekes Rishonim here and other places. So is goydel a kinyan or goydel just a bitter? In other words, what kind of kinyan? Some say Goydel itself is a kinyan because they both agreed. In other words, they say the words Bahi Hana the Kosais Ladodi is not only explaining the role of Urim Tumim, it explains what Goydel does.
The fact that I can decide.
The fact that we both agree, you know what it means? Partner of Machlekes, we both agree how we're going to split up. The Hana that we can settle this peacefully, and we don't have to go to Torah, and we don't do anything else. And that Hana, as if I got something here, and we, in other words,
told us many times that one of the reasons Masach is such a problem is because when somebody plays a betting game, his kavon is he wants to win.
Yeah, that's
and if he doesn't win, it's not really his
yeah, but a Geidel is not a winning or losing here. It's just who gets the field in the east, who gets it. Not nicer. You have to be equal in value. Remember, we're splitting a Yerusha. It's a question who gets the right, who gets the left, who gets the forward, whatever it is. So no, there's two ways of shouting Gemara. When Avashi says Bahi Ana, is he agreeing with Rabbi Lozi with Lishon Yisrael, Geidel Yisrael? He's just saying, what about Urim Tumim? The Hana takes the place of the Urim Tumim. Is that the pshat? Or the pshat is no. Bahi Hana is saying, forget, I argue Lozi, don't do Yisrael. Geidel works because Bahi Hana. And based on that, the Machlekes are showing him, is Geidel a kinyan or Geidel just a beater? No, you still have to make a kinyan. Or the moment there's a Geidel, that is the kinyan. And we're talking about we're talking about Yerusha. We both already had a shaykhis to this field, or shutrim. I want to split. We both already had a shaykhis to the field. Do I have to make another kinyan now to make it my, or to say the Geidel just, verify that this is always mine, this is always yours? Right? The question is on both. Even the first guy, all he has is the Geidel. And we're saying here, the chiddush here is that the Geidel, when you make a Geidel, that Geidel is not just for you, it's for the other guy as well. So now the Gemara says, "Eat we learn. Two brothers split a Yerusha. They split Yerusha, 50-50. There were 6 fields. You took 3, and I took 3. Suddenly, a brother comes along from overseas we didn't know existed, and proves that he's Taka brother. And DNA and Alamai has ate him. And he said, "Where's my chedik in Yerusha? What do you do now?" Rav says, "Bottle machlekes." Rav says, "Well, you have to start again because you guys split a field by 2, and now there's 3." Shmuel says, "Mekamtzin." Shmuel says, "Whatever you did. But now, for example, I ended up at 3 fields. You ended up at 3 fields. Each one of us gives a third, 1 field to this brother. So now I have 2, and you have 2. Whatever we did. And if I got less than the din or got more than the din, whatever I did is did, and then I just have to supplement it, right, or reduce. But whatever knows kam dinu or versus hada dinu. We say the din starts again or kam dinu. That whatever the paskin is paskin, then we move on. Actually, we fit in perfectly. This is machlekes of whether it's beater or kinyan. Because if according to Rav is beater, or even chalukah, if chalukah is just a beater, then the beater is no good because suddenly there's a third brother. So the beater you made was not a correct beater. But if it's more, it's a kinyan. So we did make a kinyan on it already, and part of it is going to end up with me anyway. Just I took too much, so therefore Shmuel says mekamtzin. So Rav Nachman, L'Rav, according to Rav Dama Botla Machlekes, that means what? That the whole deal it gets dissolved. Alma Hadadina, he held about, even though we passed, at the time it was correct, turned out to be he was wrong. And when we had Machlekes in the early Bava Basra and Therapeutic, whether we say Hadadina or Kam Dina. So Alma, we see clear from here, Hadadina, that you start again. Ella Ma'ata, so you want to ask a simple question. Based on this, what about Hani Beit Klasa? You had 3 partners. You had 3 partners, and 2 partners wanted enough. They wanted to dissolve the shutfus. So if it's money, even one partner can go ahead and say, "Let's divide. I'll get out of the chef. There's $100 in the account for 4 partners. Each one takes 25. It's clear. You don't need a bezin, nothing else. If it's assets and you have to evaluate, then you need a bezin to come in, step in, and evaluate, so nobody should be cheated. So what happens? 2 out of the 3 decided to dissolve. They went to bezin, did everything correctly. But Oslo Beitzim and Ayu polig. And they went ahead and they split. They did not involve the third partner, but they got it all done correctly. The bezin as they write. So according to you, since they did not include the third partner, hochinami the bottle machlekes, the machlekes, and we already learned before that you don't. I can force a partnership to dissolve. I don't need you. In fact, I can do it without behind your back if I did it in front of a bezin, not myself, a bezin, and they paskin that the assets are worth $100, and the 2 partners 50-50, then the other partner can scream from chayk v'kayim. It doesn't matter. So, you tell me now that if there's a third brother that wasn't there, you have to start again. So, in this case, if you didn't get all the partners involved, you start again. But we know that you don't have to. So, what are you comparing? Over here, we knew there were three partners. We just didn't want to get the third partner involved. Is about machlekes. So we went to Bezin 2 out of the three, and b'shas ma'aseh we were included the third guy in our cheshbonis. So therefore, the deal is a deal. Here we didn't know there was a third brother. We thought we were only two brothers. So when we made this division, we were only thinking about us. So therefore, in this case, it's like the whole thing was built on a wrong premise. Okay, okay, let's go talk to Shmuel. Next generation. Now our papa asked Abaya. Shmuel, the Mekamsing, Shmuel that says that what? Whatever was done. And then you just have to give away a field. Remember to come dinner. So Shmuel holds a word that whatever you paskin remains. But Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Shmuel both say that Kor B'Shloishim Shana Ni Moichelach. If he says, I'm going to sell you a Kor B'Shloishim seller. I'm going to sell you for 30 seller. And you can change your mind till the very last minute. But if you say Kor B'Shloishim Sa B'Selling Moichelach Risha whatever you sold, whatever you did. In other words. But the first part is if I said 30, I said a kor for shloishim saw, the deal is not a deal until the last thing. But you just said that even if I end up with less or more than whatever the psak is, whatever I have is come dinner. So the 29th saw I changed my mind, or the moicha changes his mind. Whatever I have, come dinner should be by me. So the Gemara Hassam over there by the case of a sale. Over Rabban and Milsa. The Chachamim made a special thing that we should both, it benefits both of them. The Nichel and Moichel Lekech. They both are happy that we have this right to change our mind. The Lekech. If the price suddenly goes down, the Lekech wants to have the right to walk away because otherwise he's going to end up paying too much money. If the price suddenly jacks up, the Moichel wants to have the right to change his mind till the very end. So here, both the Moichel and the Lekech want that the din should be that it's not a conclusive deal until we finally get to the 30, Moishech, the 30 or so. But that's very, very different.